Welcome back to RBR, guys. I'm your host Raz, and behind me is standing the gorgeous new CLE Cabriolet in an absolutely stunning Magno graphite grey. That is a really good looking drop top, finished with a brown interior, as you can see. Perfect for a first look today. I'm going to fill you in on all the details about pretty much the only standard cabriolet now that you can buy from Mercedes-Benz. But it's a good one because it merges two of the best. One was the C Cabriolet and the other the E Cabriolet. Both hits in their own right, but this car seeks now to merge those two things together into one super cab. So versus both the C and the E Cabriolets, this car has grown, but I think it's a pretty car as well. It's a prettier car. This is finished in that lovely Magno graphite grey that you'd see on a lot of AMGs in the past. And you can really see kind of the curvature and the sporty lines like the bonnet domes on the car. And all this was done on purpose to make the car as sporty as it could possibly be versus the predecessors. So this is just your standard car, but it looks really great. You've got a really large single louvre Mercedes-Benz grille on the front, very much like our cabriolets of the past. The lights are beautiful. They're very much like CLA. A lot of people said that as kind of a downside. I think it's fantastic because the CLA had some of the best lights on any Mercedes-Benz. The lower half, though, very much like the new E-Class. So some of that E DNA, some of that C-Class DNA in this is so wide in its standard form. It's really got some presence. And then when you come along the side, things get even better, where you've got massive 20-inch wheels both on the front and on the rear, which look amazing. And then this typical Mercedes-Benz Cabriolet chrome strip going along the side of it. What I found really nice, and I noticed when I put the roof down, was this almost like speedster type vibe on the rear. If you come in close and have a look at this, this is a really nice little feature, design feature. I think it really reminds me of speedsters. You know the way like you get that bobble that kind of leads into the headrest, albeit it'd normally be on the front headrest on a two-seater car, but that's nice. And when you kind of like step away, you kind of get that kind of speedster look here as well. So I like that, that's a nice touch. And then when you have the Burmeister upgraded speakers here, it looks even better because it's kind of highlighted in that element as well. You see your safety roll bar here, you've got your wind cover that comes up here as well. And the cool thing about the Cabriolet now is that you get more standard than you used to in both the E and the C. So now you get air scarf as standard and you get air cap as standard as well. Should we have a quick jump in? Because this is a good looking, look at that. It's my color, it's brown. Brown man be happy when he sees a brown interior. Let's jump in. So very reminiscent, of course, of C-Class, which is not a bad thing because you've got a very driver-focused interior here. And the cool thing is that you get something out of the SL, which is the tilting front screen. How cool is that? And this is there to help you with sun glare when you have your roof off, and you can kind of bring that forward and back. So that's nice. That's something from a top-level Mercedes-Benz here in your CLE as well. So they've not held back anything in that regard. The other cool thing is that we actually have buttons here. So rather than the SL, which just had a swiping function for your roof, here we've actually got dedicated buttons for your roof, for our air cap, and then for our screen on the back as well. So that's your dedicated kind of cabriolet area. And I like the fact that that's there because I did have a bit of a moan on the SL when it didn't have that. So that's well done. The other cool thing is it gets some unique ambient lighting in the rear for when the roof is down. You'll see this strip that goes across here around the back of the seats. Very much reminiscent of how Maybach has unique ambient lighting in the rear. And I think that's going to look really cool. Obviously you can't tell it that much right now in the daytime, but that's a nice little feature to add in the Cabriolet. The other cool thing is you always get nice Napa leather here around the surrounds. So they're really kind of upping the luxury element, which is nice for C-Class owners who might not be used to that. So overall, a really nice interior. I'm going to fill you in more on the rest. Let me quickly show you what the rear looks like as well. And then from that rear quarter as well, with the new light bar on the back, I mean, it looks really good. I think it's a really, really handsome car. And even with the roof closed, it's a good looking thing. Roof operation is really cool. You can do it with the key as well, which is great because when walking up to the car, it's kind of an eventful thing, right? To kind of be flexing with your cabriolet roof. I like that, it's nice. And it's quick, it's 20 seconds as well, so you won't be waiting around too long to do that. So the roof closure done pretty quickly, and with the roof up as well, it's a handsome looking car. I really like it. That's your rear quarter. Again, handsome, this all looking really nice. I think this car looks better in the darker colour, personally, where you can't see this middle bit of the light so much. Now obviously boot space, slightly smaller than our coupe. We've got about 350 litres in here. But another thing that comes standard is this little button up here. And this is something you have in the AMG SL as well, where you press that and you can get a bit more space here at the bottom. I'll do that again so you can see it. You get a bit more space. That obviously stops you from folding the roof, but a lot of the time you're going to be driving this car with the roof up, right? And you're going to want a bit more space. So you can get that by this function, which again, standard, which is really nice. So yeah, I like that. So I'm going to give you all the details about what engines you'll be able to get in this, a little bit of talk about what makes it different to the coupe, what makes it different to the predecessors, and we'll talk a little bit about future cars in terms of AMGs as well. So let's check out the new CLE Cabriolet. By the way guys, I forgot to mention, today's episode has been kindly sponsored by the Ridge, and they've got an awesome promotion on where you can win a Ford Bronco, and I want to tell you all about it right now. This is the company that's redefined our understanding of what we expect from our wallets. If you've been considering a Ridge wallet, now is the best time because they've got an incredible summer sweepstake on in partnership with Hennessy. Without spending $1, you could be in for the chance to win a brand new, fully upgraded Ford Hennessy Bronco, or if you prefer, $75,000 in cash. You get a bonus entry for every dollar that you spend on the Ridge website, and if you get Hennessy products, you get up to 1,000 entries. And of course, if you use the link ridge.com RBR or the code RBR, you'll get 10 bonus entries on checkout as well. And you guys know how awesome the Ridge products are. You can hold up to 12 cards and it keeps it nice and slim, so when you chuck it in your pocket, it does not bulge at all. And the same is true of our Hennessy version here. This is the Hennessy version. It also comes with RFID blocking technology, so no one can steal your money wirelessly. You got the choice of the strap or the money clip that comes in the box. And then of course we've got the Ridge key cases. Here's the Hennessy one again. It securely holds up to 6 keys within here, stops them from jangling, and it can go onto your keys, and there's an additional clip for it to go into your belt here. So guys, that's the new Ridge wallet and key case with Hennessy. Remember to use the link ridge.com/RBR or my code RBR. You'll get 10% off your order and 10 extra bonus entries to the sweepstakes. There's never been a better time to buy Ridge. A huge thanks to them for sponsoring this episode, and to you guys for always supporting our regular sponsors and supporting the channel. And now back to the episode. So yeah, that's a very, very handsome looking Cabriolet. Not surprising, because when we saw the CLE Coupe for the first time, that was a good looking car. And it really brought in a lot of the best design elements that I think Mercedes have come up with over the last few years. It kind of reminds me a lot of the CLA, which I think is one of the best designed recent Mercedes cars. And it brings that into like a bigger car. And of course, we stick with the soft top, which I think it links so nicely to the heritage of older Mercedes-Benz cabriolets, like the brilliant W124, etc. And you know, going back even further to 300 SL, etc. But yeah, I like that. I like the fact that it's a soft top, it's a traditional Mercedes-Benz. Versus the coupe, you don't lose much in roofline, but you have got, you know, as we said, that typical chrome border around our passenger cell, which is nice, but you know, really when it goes night package, it needs to be black, I think. But that's instantly recognizable because it really reminds you of C Cabriolet and E Cabriolet. Now, with regards to those cars, as we've said in the coupe, the CLE Cabriolet is trying to please both C Cabriolet customers and E Cabriolet customers. And the way that it's trying to do that is, for C Cabriolet customers, it wants to make a car that's giving you a lot more bang for buck in terms of luxury, technology, space and convenience. So the car is now larger than both the C and the E previously. So you've got more space inside, you've got similar in terms of boot space to the E-Class, which is a great thing for C Cabriolet customers. But in terms of technology, you've got so much more for the C-Class owner, and we'll go into that a little bit later. For the E-Class owner, you now have a car that's much sportier than the predecessor. Mercedes really focusing hard on bringing that C-Class type dynamism into this larger car to then give the E-Class customers that hit of sportiness that they were missing in the previous generation. Now, in terms of engine options, you've got a really good lineup here. The best one is the fact that you'll get a 6-cylinder unit in the CLE 450 4MATIC, and the other engines that are available you can see up top here. You won't get any plug-in hybrids in the Cabriolet, and the other technical difference is that there is no rear-wheel steering option because you simply can't fit it in. But because this is a slightly more relaxed car in terms of what you'll be doing with it, I don't think it's going to make a massive amount of difference in that regard. Now in terms of the roof, it's a multi-layer concept where we're looking at thermal management, sound insulation, much like AMG did with the SL. But the nice thing is that it comes up and down within 20 seconds, and you can do it up to speeds of 60 kilometers per hour, which is great because it makes it even more convenient compared to the predecessor, which did it, I think, only up to 50 kilometers per hour. So that's really cool. And it looks nice with the roof down as well. Again, that classical Mercedes-Benz Cabriolet shape. Now the nice thing is, while we have our standard Mercedes-Benz version with those engines, what we will also have in the future is likely some AMG variants as well. And we've discussed this with CLE Coupe. We think, and it's all just rumours, I've heard nothing here, that the 53 will potentially be a 6-cylinder. It makes sense considering that we have our 450 6-cylinder engine already existing as the top of the Mercedes-Benz cars, and it's due to look pretty tasty. From what I can see on spy shots and stuff, it seems to be the fact that the 53 and the 63 share the same aggressive body, which is great. And then you might even have a 63 of the Cabriolet as well. That'll probably be that 4-cylinder hybrid concept. But both of them are going to be pretty exciting looking, and then there'll be your second option of a drop-top full-on AMG available from Mercedes. So yeah, a couple of handsome cars coming your way. So guys, that's your CLE Cabriolet. I think a big upgrade on both C-Cab in terms of luxury and E-Cab in terms of sportiness. I'm excited to drive it because that 6-cylinder unit under here is bound to be a cracking engine with 4MATIC as well. And I'm excited for the future versions. So if you've enjoyed this first look at the CLE, as always, I really appreciate the support. Please do like and subscribe to RBR. That's got its hood on, I've got mine. It's time to go. See you guys.